Hello, it's Jang here with a look at the LEGO Ninjago Chain Cycle Ambush set. Comes with 298 pieces, and that includes 3 minifigures and 2 screamers. The chain cycle itself is comically oversized, and I cannot understand how adding a little ghost juice to a regular motorcycle is supposed to add so much mechanical mass to it. But that's what happened in the show, isn't it? Well, it doesn't make much sense, but I can still appreciate something that looks cool, and this looks cool to me. It has a very retro feeling to it, like some kind of comic horror thing from the 1970s or something, and it's all hot rodded up, and I like it. It's its own thing. It has a ton of personality, the mechanical thing itself. You know, it's supposed to be coming to life, but it's not overdone. It doesn't have an obvious face to it. I mean, this is kind of a face-like thing here in the front. You could kind of see these as being eyes, you know, maybe something serpentine, but it doesn't go too far. It still clearly looks like a mechanical creation. Great to get all these recolored old elemental blades, so many of them, 6 in total. So much use of the neon transparent greenish yellow color, but yet it still doesn't feel overdone. It still, to me, feels well balanced. This does have an action feature back here with a launcher. This is just a little rubber band loaded thing, and you can load up some chain bullas onto that with more like ghost bomb things on the ends. Just put that right into there, pull this back, and then let it go, and depending upon how far you bring it back, it'll shoot out, either kind of shoot up or forward a little bit more. Yeah, that made it halfway across the room. So that's actually pretty cool. And it's fun. It feels fun to do this. It's not an annoying type of action feature. It also doesn't stand out too much because they built in the colors. You know, the colors are kind of integrated with the rest of the cycle. So it doesn't get in the way, I feel. You can see that you can re-angle these. These are actually on hinges, so you can angle them down if you want to. It's a little bit of a different look there. They can also be angled out. They're on little ratcheted pieces, so you can bring them out, and I think that also adds a little extra flair with that kind of V shape there. I like the big wheels. Unfortunately, they are hard plastic, so they make a lot of noise when they go over surfaces, don't get a lot of traction, but I think it was a good choice to go with those nevertheless, because they look cool and they allow you to put those barbs on the sides that are attached there. The front end is also particularly interesting to me. Uses a gear in the center, and that's mostly there to get traction. It's like the remnant of the old wheel and tire, and then you've got these kind of star-shaped little rotary saws off to the sides. And I also like how the chains, the ghost chains, are crossed. You get that X shape in the front. So lots of cool stuff going here from an artful perspective and from a mechanical perspective. There's the driver's seat way up on top, and to the side of that you see a stud shooter, and there's one on either side, so you can fire those off. A little crate in the back where you can store your 2 chain bolas that are included here. You can also throw in some of those extra studs to use on the stud shooter, and 1 extra sticker added back here just to kind of bring in some of the level of detail from the front. A little bit of exhaust there, just kind of old bits of the exhaust, or maybe that's part of the old engine. There's a ton of stuff going on with Air Jitsu Zane in this set. He's got his elemental ice blade there, his new outfit, and then he's got all this stuff on the back. What is up with all that? Look at that, it's clipped onto his back. Looks like it's got, is that like some sort of frost exhaust or something? This is bizarre to look at first, but it looks like you could definitely do some serious stuff with it. Well, with the clip on the back, it's intended to allow him to just lean forward like this, and it's a hang glider. It's a hang glider, and he can hang glide around. Perfect. Just very awkward for him to walk around with the thing like this all the time. But this actually has a secondary mode to it, interestingly enough. I mean, I think as a hang glider it works just fine, but you can also use it as kind of a powered stand-on surfboard glider sort of thing, an air scooter maybe you could call that. Just a alternate form for the same thing, so you can use it in 2 different ways. I think that's pretty cool. It's again just very awkward to have it on his back. You can also fold up the wings to make it a little bit more compact. That really doesn't help with it on his back, to be honest, but it kind of makes it look a little bit more like it's in a diving kind of pose, or like it's going to be going really fast. And there's a closer look at Zane himself, sandwiched between Wraith on the left and Pyrrhus on the right. I really still like that weapon that Wraith has. Here's a look at the prints from the back. And Wraith gets the bandages around the head with that mummy style as well. It's just printed around the back and the front with a little bit of a gap in the center. And there's a clearer look at the faces from the front, including the one of Zane, which has a ton of highly metallic and reflective silver behind it. As mentioned earlier, you also get 2 screamers, and they give you 1 in each of the possible prints. Only one of them has food this time though, so the other one's going to be extra hungry, I'm sure. Last up is this buildable shuriken, an arrow blade, and it is caught in a ghost vortex, kind of acting as a little bit of a trap for it that you'll need to extricate it from. And that looks really cool with the use of the light spring green colored spider leg pieces, the way that they kind of spiral around, and depending upon what angle you use for those, they can look a little bit different. You can bring them up a little bit more vertically if you want to make it look like a little bit more of a trap. That's a little tougher to get into, but I feel like they look cooler to myself personally when they're down a little bit lower. But it's a nice, just small little extra thing, and a good way to present the arrow blade itself. So yeah, obviously I like the set. I don't think there's really anything about the set that I don't like. Obviously my favorite thing is the main thing, which is a good thing because that's what's paid for the most. But I like the glider setup that Zane gets. Attaching it to his back while he's just walking around doesn't make sense, but just take it off. I like how it transforms a little bit. You get the 2 different versions, or 2 different ways you can use it. I like his elemental ice spear there. Just a handful of pieces, but I think it looks really good and goes well with the element. I like the vortex that's holding the arrow blade in place. I like Wraith. I guess the thing that I like the least out of the whole set is Pyrrhus, just because it's kind of more of a plain figure, relatively generic, but it's not bad. So I'm happy with what I got. Let me know what you think about the set by leaving your thoughts in a comment down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.